Hi everyone, myself Vivek, working as assistant professor in PC's Kashi Nadar College, Chennai. This video we are going to know about what is indirect taxation, GST. What is indirect tax? It is a tax levied by the government on goods and services and not on their income, profit or revenue of an individual, and it can be shifted from one taxpayer to another. Let us discuss a few indirect taxes that we are earlier imposed in India. Number one, customs duty. It is an import duty levied on goods coming from outside the country, ultimately paid by the customers. Second one is central excise duty. This tax was payable by manufacturer who would then shift the tax burden to the retailers as well as wholesalers. Then service tax. It is imposed on the gross or aggregate charge amount by the service provider on the recipient. Next one is sales tax. This tax was paid by the retailer who would then shift the tax burden to customers by charging sales tax on goods and services. Next one is value added tax. It was collected on the value of goods or services that we were added to each stage of their manufacture or distribution and then finally passed on to the consumers. What is GST? GST is nothing but goods and service tax. It is a ultimately indirect tax. Indirect tax is nothing but the taxes the government collected indirectly from the people. GST used in India on the supply of goods and services. It is comprehensive, multi-stage, destination-based tax. Comprehensive because it is subsumed almost all indirect taxes except few state taxes like corporation tax. Multi-stage as it is a GST is imposed at every step in the production but is meant to be refunded to all the parties. We call it as input tax credit in various stages of production other than the final consumer and as a destination based tax. It is collected from the point of consumption, not point of origin like previous taxes. GST are divided into 5 different tax slabs for collection of tax. It starts with 0%, 5%, 12%, 18% and 28%. However, petroleum products, alcoholic drinks and electricity are not taxed under GST. Instead, are taxes separately by the individual state governments. As per the previous tax system, there is a special rate of 0.25% on rough, precious and semi-precious stones and 3% on gold. In addition, a cess of 22% or other rates on top of 28%, GST applies on few items like aerated drinks, luxury cars, tobacco products. Pre-GST, the statutory tax rate for most goods was about 26.5%. Post-GST, most goods are to be taken in 18% tax rate. It will reduce the burden of tax. For India, so many countries are implementing GST. In India, GST came into effect from 1st July 2017 through the implementation of the 101st Amendment of the Constitution of India by the Indian government. GST replaced existing multiple tax levied by the central and state government, and it also reduced the cascading effect. And the cascading effect is nothing but it is a tax on tax. As we earlier said, indirect taxation have separate stages and separate types. And we have, it is a, as already said, it is a destination based tax. So everything depends upon the when and where the goods or services are given or received. GST is, we can um, uh, uh, divided into intrastate movement and interstate movement. So intrastate movement is nothing but the movement within the state. Interstate is the transaction between one state to another state. For intrastate movement, we have two systems. One is central GST and another one is state GST. For interstate movement, that is the movement between one state to another state, we charging integrated GST. The 100% revenue will go to the central government. As earlier said, it is a destination based tax. So how can we know when can apply CGST, SGST or IGST? To determine whether the central goods and service tax or state goods or service tax or integrated goods or service tax will be applicable in a taxable transaction, it is important to first know if the transaction is an interstate or interstate supply. Intrastate is nothing but it is a transaction within a state. Interstate is so one state to another state. So intrastate supply or goods or services is when the location of the supplier and the place of supply, that is location of the buyer, are in the same state. In intrastate transaction, a seller has to collect both CGST and SGST from the buyer. The CGST gets deposited with the central government and SGST gets deposited with the state government. For interstate supply of goods and services is when the location of the supplier and the place of supply are in different states. Also in case of export or import of goods or services, when the supply of goods or services is made to or by SEZ unit, social economic zone, the transaction is assumed to be interstate. In an interstate transaction, the seller has to collect IGST from the buyer. Let us we take one example of transactions and to know the how GST is calculated and how it's impacting both central government and state government. Let us consider that goods worth rupees 10,000 are sold by manufacturer A from Maharashtra to dealer B in Maharashtra. Since A is selling this to B in Maharashtra itself, it is an intrastate sale. So CGST at 9%, SGST at 9% will apply. Second one is dealer B resells them to trader C in Rajasthan for rupees 17,500. Dealer B is selling from Maharashtra, is selling to trader C is in Rajasthan. Hence this is an interstate sale. One state to another state with IGST, integrated goods and service tax, that is 18%. And third one is trader C final sales to end user D in Rajasthan for 30,000. This will also comes under intrastate sale. Hence CGST at 9% and SGST 9% will apply. Now we are going to record all the transaction to see the how much tax liable and how it can be adjusted. We call it as input tax credit. The first transaction is A to B. A and B both coming from Maharashtra. So it is a intrastate supply of goods. Sale price is 10,000 rupees. For 10,000 rupees, 18% will be 1,800 rupees. For this transaction, 9% will go to the Maharashtra government and 9% will give to the central government. Second transaction is B to C. B is from Maharashtra and C is coming from Rajasthan. So sale price is 70,500. For 70,500, 18% will be 3,150 rupees. Clear? And one more thing, we already paid 900 to the CGST and SGST. That is what is the credit lies in the central government and state government. We have to deduct this. After deduction, we get a net 1,350 rupees as a credit in central government ledger. The third transaction is Mr. C to D. D is a final consumer, the person who used the product. For D, we are selling the price for 30,000 rupees. For 30,000 rupees, 18% GST will be 5,400. For 5,400, we have to give 9% to Rajasthan and 9% to central government, because both C and D coming from the Rajasthan. It is a intrastate sale of goods. For that, we have created ledger for 2,700 in Rajasthan, 2,700 in central government. Next is, already we have a net credit balance of 1,350 rupees. For this, 900 we have to get from Maharashtra. For this, we have to deduct this. Remaining 450 rupees, correct. That 450 rupees will be get credited. That is, we have to adjust it from Rajasthan government. So we will get a net value of 2,250 for the Rajasthan ledger and 2,250 to the central government ledger, because the 450 will be get adjusted in both. After adjusting everything, this adjustment is called input tax credit. After adjusting everything, we will get a total receipt of taxes. For Maharashtra, it will be 900 rupees. For Rajasthan, it is 2,250 rupees. For central government, it is 2,250 rupees. In final adjustment, GST is a destination based tax. Whether the goods is produced or manufactured in wherever it is, where it is sells, it matters. The goods is produced or manufactured in Maharashtra, but it's getting sold in Rajasthan. So the entire credit of Maharashtra will given to the Rajasthan and central government. Clear? For this adjustment, 900 rupees of Maharashtra will be divided into two parts, equal two parts, and 450 will be given to the Rajasthan ledger, 450 given to the central government ledger. Final total for 30,000 rupees of value, 18% tax 5,400 will be shared among Rajasthan and central government. 2,700 for central government and 2,700 for Rajasthan government. From this table, we are going to know how much input tax credit as given for Rajasthan and central government. Input tax credit is nothing but it is an adjustment between the central government and state government ledgers. So we are going to know how much revenue we'll get from the central government and Rajasthan. Since it's a destination based tax, the goods is originated in Maharashtra will get a 0. The good is finally sold in Rajasthan, so the entire credit or the percentage of credit will be given to Rajasthan as well as central government. Chart, we get to know how much tax will be collected by the central government and Maharashtra government and Rajasthan government. So GST is a need of an hour. For GST, it will give you the single tax system to the country. That is one taxation. The remaining indirect systems will be get abolished. Number 2, no cascading effect. That is tax on tax. Before we have VAT we have tax on every transaction, every value. Here there is no cascading effect, as well as they will provide input tax credit. That is what you have to pay to the liability to the central government will be get adjusted from the state government or state government to the central government. Number 3, goods and service tax network. The tax network is it's a simple web form system. You have to record everything transaction in the web based system. It will be easier for every man to accommodate with the auditing as well as accounting. It will be a simple system. And last one is transparency in the system. Before GST, we don't know how much tax we have paid for the goods or services. Now we get to know the slab rates. What is a slab? How much we have paid to the central government and state government. So it's a very clear process. Thank you for giving me wonderful opportunity. Have a nice day. Thank you.